took a last peek at the program and the list of speakers, and frankly, I'm very happy that I'm first, because I might actually convince you that I know what I'm talking about before the Honorable Mr. Bernard Boyer comes up, and you'll realize that I'm the runt of the litter. But that in mind, I want to talk to you about frontiers in regards to personal identity, and what I call it being the inner frontier. I began my journey here many, many years ago as a student, and quickly picked up on photography. I started first with classes and weekend activities, and eventually I became obsessed doing it day in, day out throughout all my free time. And up until Class T, it was pretty much what I did and what defined me here in LeRosey and outside of the school also. When I came to Class T, I asked this faculty and staff if I could have a personal darkroom made in the basement of the Class T building. And I don't know if it's the fact that they saw my ardent passion, or they were just happy that I would stay in rather than sneak out, that the permission was granted and the lab was built. And I would go there as often as I could, often past curfew, and work in solitude. And I really remember the feeling, the enchanted feeling, and the rewarding feeling to be able to do that. That set me on my yellow brick road and eventually became my passion and that I strived for. My frontier back then was professional photography. It was also figuratively my breaking point. It allowed me to reflect upon my identity and build onwards. And identity, as a whole, it can break barriers. But ever so often, and we do this on a daily basis, we judge people and their identities by looking what's on the outside. We formulate them into sectors and segments and label them depending on how they look, what they drive, where they work, what their status is in society. And this is because identity can also be a socially formed phenomenon. And all this labeling, what it does is that it puts people into a box. It confines them and places them in categories and doesn't do much good. In terms of the facets, the visual representation of that identity, it's only a few facets of what identity really is and that depth of inner frontier. We should really think about looking inwards not only at who we are, but the more importantly, what we want, and even more importantly so, why we want it. Why do we want to do or to reach that frontier? What is it that we're going to be once we reach there? What are we going to say? What are we going to think? What are we trying to achieve before tackling the physical frontier? And, a couple of years back, I started a foundation called Lead by One. And we essentially focus on people, not necessarily children, all ages, people with disabilities or severe illnesses. But there's one main difference between all other foundations and organizations out there, is that we focus on one sole case at a time. And you may ask yourselves why? Why would we spend all the resources, all the time, all the devotion in order to heal or help only that one person? And to me, the answer is simple. It's because we try to establish a base platform that is more interesting, more innovative, and permits that person to build upon their identity and really try to find themselves and find what their inner passions are and their inner frontiers will be or are. And so our first case has been a boy named Sham from East Africa. And Sham is deaf. He can't hear. He's the boy with the glasses. And we started communicating and integrating ourselves into his family life, into his life, to try to figure out a way to structure this platform specifically for him. And our main focus is to take away that disability that he has currently as the beginning, in order to liberate him from barriers and from the classification of him having a disability. Because before that is done, he's unable to explore his identity fully. He will always be labeled. And no matter if he thinks about himself differently, it's what the outer projection is. So, we do that through movement, through an emphasis and a deeper appreciation of movement, which we call dance or sports, or any of the sort of activities that involve movement and action. We do that through arts. We have participating artists that challenge themselves to try to express their identities, their inner passions, their inner frontiers to that platform in order for Sham to interact with it. We do that through science, because to me, science is not only a frontier on itself, but it's also a beautiful piece of communication. It goes way, way deeper than just beyond numbers, facts. It often touches the soul. And that platform enables Sham to communicate better with his peers, stay more active in his life outside of school. And this challenge of the cochlear implant that we're aiming to get him is no longer an issue. Before, this is everything that he knew. This is everything that tied him to this world, is the fact that he just wanted to hear. And, it also liberates him from the fact that his disability makes him prone that all his free time is spent learning. His father is actually a self-taught pathologist, trying to teach him how to speak, how to read, and so forth. The helping hand of the people based on this platform is more diverse. We are really engaging everybody beyond just donating a one-time fee, or even twice or three times. The donation part to us is only the beginning. It's the social interaction, it's the growth. Because building your identity begets passion, and passion begets endurance. And ultimately, endurance is what gets us to the frontier itself. And, even our donation platform is built on, infographics and social structure. So when somebody donates, he's able to see his connection to other peers or friends through his social network. They can start a conversation. They can start a project of their own, trying to fit into that platform and help Sham. And ultimately, it's about social interaction. Sham is able to interact with all the donees. He's able to travel, he's able to speak, he's able to communicate his thoughts and project them into the world. And this is what really, really builds who he is. And more importantly so, it's the fact that inner identity is the search of what we really want to do. Because if you've picked a profession or a passion and you said, I wanted to do this, and you do that before you've answered the question why, you will realize that it is short-lived. Once you're able to do that, or you have reached that goal, you will feel a certain emptiness. Answering the question why is key to endure this inner frontier, to keep searching for it. And the physical frontiers at that point will be endless. And, we cannot ask for more than this. More opportunity, more vivacity, more grit. We're able people, and we are capable of reaching very, very distant frontiers physically. But I think projecting inwards, thinking about who you are and what you want to be, and really why you want to be or do certain things, is key to success. So I will leave you at that. I will leave you dwelling on the question, why? Thank you very much.